So, today I have platinumed the game, meaning that today is most likely, or this video is most likely my last video from my progress. You can see I've started a new game. I have got as far, I basically opened up Dobuita. I spoke to the guy with the bad back in, what's his name, Yamagashi? In Sakura Gyoyaga? Gayoga? I spoke to him so that I could open up Dobuita so that I can do what I want to do today. And yeah, I basically started in the game so that I had like one missable trophy at the end.
Ine-san is always there for me.
At the end of my playthrough. And then decided to make this video. I was kind of determined to do this actually, like before, I didn't realise, when I'd last saved, I didn't realise that the last day was basically going to take me straight to the harbour and then basically have, Ryu had packed and he was basically on his way to the ship, and that was like the end. What was this again? Oh yeah, this. It's like the first QTE.
Okay, Kota. Oops. Yo, watch out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Are you okay?
So yeah,
Yeah,
there's
but
basically something.
be
There was
careful when
unfinished
playing in the
business,
road.
essentially, that I wanted to. Hey, the ball has a weird shadow.
Wait up, Yasuo. Wait for me.
Like we watched that in the video. The shadow of the ball is really strange. Like oddly, the black bits were white in the shadow. Anyway. So yeah, I mean, this video, I'm basically just going to sum up my opinions of the game. Oh, okay. So yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh, no. I've been too tired lately. Ask someone else, will you?
This video, I'm going to spend the entire day following this man. This man here. This is, from what I can gather, this is his starting point of the day. I've arrived at 9 o'clock. I wake up at 8:30. If he is anywhere earlier than this, I cannot know it. I cannot know. I don't know where he sleeps. I do not know if he has a house. I don't even know his name. He never mentions his name. He is a tired man. He is so tired. And yeah, just kind of want to know what his daily routine is, what he does every day. Why is he so tired? I don't know. And, you know, I guess this will also help out with a few other daily routines. So, I think in the morning, she's always sweeping up there. And the other woman she speaks to, she's always, she's always out by the telephone booth. She's always speaking to another woman who sweeps by the map, by the park. And they always sit and chat there throughout the day. So, I guess I'm not really too bothered about their daily routine. It's this guy's daily routine. I actually, like, so today is the 4th. So I did have to spend yesterday waiting around because I was going to make this video yesterday, but obviously there were too many, like, yesterday was the first day, so there were too many cutscenes. Too many cutscenes to feasibly do that. And also I had to like open up Dobuita. I had to like talk to the guy with the bad back, open that up, and I just sort of ran around Dobuita, making sure that there weren't any cutscenes that would get in my way for today. There probably will be, but I'll deal with them when I get there. I actually, yesterday, because I was bored, hanging around, I followed him a wee bit. After the crane, around about 4 o'clock I think it was, I saw him down in Dobuita. So I think these two spend the whole day until about 3-4 o'clock just speaking and being tired. He's helpful. Like, he's actually, well, I say helpful, he speaks to you. When I remember throughout the quests, I actually asked him stuff, and he was always just like, sorry, but I only just arrived, like, you know, work started. Like, he's obviously the operator of the crane who never operates the crane. But he at least says stuff like, sorry, I only started work like yesterday, I didn't see anything on that day. So he's nice. I don't have anything against him. But I did see him yesterday in Dobita. He went into the sushi bar, I think it was, around about 4 o'clock. And then just kind of went home and got the bus. Like, I think he went, after that, he walked over to the bus and got the bus away. That's essentially his thing. I'm just more interested. Like, he's mysterious. I want to know what's his deal. What's his name even? Can I find out his name? That would be great if I could find out his name today. What else did I do yesterday? I saw the guy in the turquoise and white running suit who always runs about the harbour. Didn't realise like before you get to the harbour that he is in Dobita. He is a boxer. He was like practicing in the park and stuff. I think once you get to the harbour, he's constantly in the harbour. Also leading me on to the point that, like, once you get to the harbour, I always felt that Dobita and like these areas always feel so much quieter than they do at the start of the game. Like the start of the game, the whole place felt a bit buzzing, whereas it sort of died down after a while. And I feel that's because they took all the character models and made them, you know, walk about in Dobita, and then they pushed some into the harbour. Because there's the girl who stands by the pier. She was also walking around. I noticed, the one with the hat and the woolly jacket. So she was there. What did I do yesterday? I went to the convenience store because obviously, being the tired man, I wanted to buy... Ah, shit. I don't have the record player. I need to go get that from the house. I'm not going to do that. I would have done that if I'd actually picked up the cassette. I do not have the cassette off... I don't have the cassette because I bought these four thinking that, okay, then I'll exit and come back in and there'll be like a new set of cassettes, but I think you have to progress the story to get the I Feel Tired song. So unfortunately, can't even play a song. Yeah, can't even play a song because I don't have the cassette player. And you know, I'd run back and get it now, but I don't want to miss. I don't want to miss a thing. Bon Jovi. Nah, there's no point. If I don't have the song, like, I don't think I can get the song. I did actually watch one of my videos back when the video that I got the song in, and that was like during my Charlie quest, so I'd have to progress the story that far. And one of the things I actually wanted to talk about, obviously we're going to have lots of time between now and him actually doing anything, is just like the story progression and my overall opinions of the story and just the game in general. So, what I was thinking, yeah. So right now, I am... Oh, I can watch him while in the notebook. So yeah, I got as far as basically, I need to go ask Nozomi about the black car. Didn't want to go speak to Nozomi. Didn't want to progress this story. I wanted to be like, I wanted to discuss the story from memory rather than replaying the story. And what I realised that from memory, I don't actually remember the story connections. Like, I remember the Charlie, having to find Charlie, and I like go back in my head, and I'm like, how did I get the name for Charlie? Oh yeah, that was from Heartbeats Bar. So from Heartbeats Bar, that basically was because I was looking for sailors. So there was a quest for looking for sailors. I cannot really connect any more dots. Like, so from the start, obviously you go you seek a black car because the girl who raised the kitten, the kitten's mum got run over by the car, and then you go search for the guy with the bad back because he almost got run over by the car, and then you must have to go talk to Nozomi about the black car. But then I don't actually remember what connects the black car to the sailors. I cannot remember. There was something to do with the 3 blades and speaking to the Chinese guy in the restaurant. But I mean, this was only a few days ago. Obviously, a lot has progressed in that time, but I cannot remember what happened in between. In any case, I found that part of the game very fun. I'm assuming that must be like Disc 1. Disc 1 is all before Harbour, And that was a very fun part of the game. Like, it was really, you know, you were getting to know the world was buzzing, as I said, it was alive. You were speaking to everyone, getting to know everyone, getting used to their daily routines. The time was changing it, like, you know, as it progressed towards Christmas, like, Christmas stuff started coming out. Like, I think the day after Christmas, all the Christmas stuff went away, and that made me a bit sad. But yeah, just like, the atmosphere was pretty buzzing throughout that whole period, that whole, like, quest line. You had to search, yeah, you had to look for the was that after you found Charlie? The two motorcycle guys. Vaguely remember speaking to them. Oh no, you had to speak to them to find the tattoo parlor, which is where you found Charlie. And then once you found Charlie, no, we're on the first disc. We're on the first disc. I think Charlie sent you to the harbour. I don't remember why. But no, yeah, it was a nice curve, like, just not a difficulty curve or anything. I mean, some of the quests did get pretty hard, but like, just, it was nice and easy, and like, you got clues, and sometimes you didn't get clues, and it was a nice slow progression of the game. Just really enjoyed that part of the game. And yeah, I guess you just learn more stuff about the game and the world. It's, oh, two women are there, spraffing away. There we are. Can't keep my eyes off him though. Yeah. The start of the game was good. And I think what I liked about, yeah, just I like the slow progression of this game. Like, it escalates into what it became at the very end. And the start of it, that slow paced starting, like, just non-quests really. That, I mean, they were just kind of like find people, search for information. Nothing really happened. You didn't even get into a fight until like the Charlie mission, I think. It was just nice. It was easy. It was opening the world to you. If I were to compare that to Yakuza, I'm still going to compare this game to Yakuza, by the way. Like, this game is a precursor to Yakuza, really. But I think Yakuza 3, for example, does also give you that sort of slow progression into it. But that's more, Yakuza 3 was very linear in that regard. Like, it just kind of, you know, the first 7 chapters or something, the first 5 at least, were just doing stuff for the kids, just, you know, opening up this world to you, and then shoved you out into the dankness. I mean, there was a slow build up, but it's not the same as this. The keyword dynamic. This had a very dynamic, like, atmosphere to it. Like, opened up just slowly at your own pace, how you wanted it to. It didn't even have to go the way you wanted it to. I mean, obviously there were certain points that you have to follow, but like, you could ask anyone about any of the clues and stuff, so that was good. Still trying to wrap my brain. I can't remember what the dots were. From talking to Nozomi about the black car to finding out about the 3 blades, like, somebody must have spoken Chinese. Was one of the bodyguards in the black car Chinese? So therefore you had to go ask the 3 blades about it. I remember you ask the 3 blades, and it turns out you need to wait for the... So you speak to Maeda, Patches, and... who's the 3rd blade? Some noodle chef or something. And you had to then wait for the other barber, who wasn't Maeda, to open up. Because his father was in hospital, so he was closed up until a certain point, until this point in the game, I guess. And then when you spoke to him, something then happened, and that led you on to sailors. I don't know. But yeah, obviously lots of little key points within that I just can't remember. Oh, it's 12 o'clock. Oh, he's made a move. Let's follow him. Honestly, like, so yesterday when I was following him, oh, he's coming too. I saw him down in Dobiita at about 4 PM. So this is sudden. This is like I was not expecting this. And he's not going to the shrine. I thought his first stop was the shrine. Anyway, so after you find Charlie, again, I can't quite remember that. I like the taxi over there, by the way. Like Nomura, he's cool. Like I don't know what, like he must be awake the whole time because the taxi's away the whole night. Because he's obviously he works at night. And the taxi's there during the day, but then he's walking about Dobuita during the day. So he must be like awake 24/7. He must be going for lunch or something. They're going for lunch together. Weird. Is he already gone? Where is he? Better not lose him, by the way. Like, I don't like losing people like this. I don't think I will. He went down here. Yeah, so after Charlie, you somehow get to the harbour because Charlie gives you some information. Is that the whole harbour bit? When you first go to the harbour, I can't remember the reason for first going to the harbour. But it must be like... I don't know. Well, I'm getting a bit worried. Like, where is he? Fuck, is he already gone around the corner? I think he might have already gone. I think I saw someone around the corner there. I'm gonna run down here. Then what is it like when... Oh shit. I did not want this to happen, by the way. That's them. Fuck. I also want to just like talk about the experience of the game up until like 4 o'clock. I thought that was him for a second. Right. Everything's okay, guys. Somehow Hard Hat walked down before him, but everything's okay. Right, so yeah, that's the barber that was like closed up until a certain point. But then yeah, so you get to the harbour, and I remember you were like looking to buy tickets, so you were going about travel agencies. And so that was all happening before you got the job, because obviously you go to the harbour before even getting the job, and it's all just about. I think you have to sneak into warehouse 8 for some reason. Oh yeah, no, it's because you get. Oh no, yeah, you get the number from Master Chen, and because you receive a letter saying find Master Chen. That's why you go to the harbour. The letter kind of like comes into it randomly though, doesn't it? Like I think it's after you find Charlie, you just randomly get a letter that Ina-san has been hiding from you since your father died. Like it came like the day after your father died, but she just never gave it to you. So yeah, I think the letter came out of nowhere, and that was when you then had to speak to the woman in the china shop. You had to like help her grandson, sorry. Is he going to buy flowers? What? Oh. Yeah, so you had to do that whole thing. That was how you got to the harbour. So I don't actually remember what happens like after Charlie. Like what? I think nothing connects Charlie to the letter you get. You just randomly get that letter. But I think that only happens once you find Charlie. And then you go to the harbour. You go to you sneak into number 8, and then it's like, oh, it's the old harbour number 8. So then that takes a while. That bit was a wee bit boring, I have to say, because it was like, ooh, it's going to the Chinese place. Is he Chinese? Don't know. I'm gonna have to like change it to Japanese dubs and see if he's got an accent. So that's 1 in the afternoon. 1 in the afternoon, he goes for lunch. Oh, they're both here. See, that's weird. This is like 1 in the afternoon and he's here at like 4 o'clock yesterday. He was in the sushi bar, so like maybe 5 o'clock. Oh, Sega magazines. Sega tissues again. You know what they like. He was a cool character. The chef. So, where were we? Harbour. Harbour was pretty cool, but a bit boring. Like, it was nice being in a new area, but I did find the start, like, because I think you had to sneak into number 8, and because I had to do that, because I ran out of money the first time I went to the harbour, I was like, oh, I need to wait till tomorrow. So I basically had to waste time at the harbour. When really what I should have done is taken the bus back and wasted time in Dobuita and, like, bought more stuff. Is that Nomura-san? Who is that?
Excuse me.
Oh, no, no, no.
didn't
I
see
just
him.
can't now. Ask me later, will you?
I just can't. Who's he? Yeah, no, I think it was just like, oh,
Tao-san. Yes?
nah. Watching this guy. Oh, he's gone. Good thing I did not get into that conversation, by the way. Like, if I got into that conversation, he'd gone. That would be another bit of panic. Out the door, please. He's going away. So, harbour, yeah, it was a bit boring just because I kept having to, like, wait a day, and really, instead of, like, I did a silly thing, I think, and I wasted my days in the harbour where there's not really much to do. I should have just come back here, because I think directly after that, once you sneak into number 8, you then have to wait until the next day to sneak into the old number 8, and then Master Chen, when you meet Master Chen, he then tells you to come back the next day, and it's like, Jesus, how long do you have to wait around? Like, the start of the harbour, you have to wait, like, days at a time for the next event to happen, and I remember that just being a bit boring. And, yes, the start of the harbour, nice in an area, just a wee bit boring to begin with. The whole travel agency bit was cool. I actually thought that was, like, almost endgame there. Like, and I knew that I had to work at the forklift. Like, I knew that was coming up. But at the same time, it kind of felt like, because I had the money and I could buy the ticket, I was a bit like, oh, I can do this. But then, obviously, Chai comes along and eats your ticket and fucks off. And, you know, to be honest, that whole bit, I didn't really like, because it felt like endgame, because I felt like, shit, I don't want to complete this game right this minute. Like, it was kind of like the pressure was on to be like, oh, we've got the ticket, we're like going to Hong Kong. And I didn't like it as well because Ryu was just being so autistic and stupid. He was like, oh, I'm going to go with this. Oh, there's Nomura. That's Nomura. Don't know who the other guy was. But that's Nomura. He's got a cool, like, black and red striped jacket. But yeah, Ryu was just being so autistic with the travel agencies. He was like, oh, let's just go for the cheap one, even though it's got really bad reputation. We should go with that one. And then he gets into so much trouble, and that's when he's all like, oh, I can like, you know, Fuku-san has given me his life savings, I cannot waste it. And then he goes and wastes it, and then he's all autistic and is like, it's okay, Fuku-san, I know you tried. So that bit was like, what is going on? I'm assuming they're going back to just the point where they stood. But again, I'm assuming this is going to happen every time as well. Like, I'm going to have to wait ages for them just to come around the corner. And this will stress me. I'll wait here. Like, where else could they go? Oh, you could go into the park. I'm going to try the park. Oh, hard hat guy first. And there he is. Is that him? No. No. Where's your friend?
Excuse me.
Oh! Hi there!
Hi there. Oh no. I'm gonna check the park. There's a man with a bad back, Yamashiro. Follow the hard hat guy. Shit. Hate this. Right, there we go. Thought that might happen, even though he went up first and the hard hat guy was behind him. Anyway. So yeah. Yeah, again, travel agency bit was a bit like Ryu being way autistic, way more autistic than he usually is. And then obviously, after that part, you then get the job as a forklift driver. That bit's cool. Like, I really enjoyed going in. Just like I felt like I was really good at driving the forklift. I was doing my job as efficiently as I could. It was just those Mad Angel gang bastards kept getting in my way. Like, if they did not interrupt me at least once every day, I would have got my job done. I would have got all those crates put away. I was getting a raise every single day. And yeah, I would have liked that to actually have lasted a bit longer. Like, I was quite happy, sort of... That was when I really, like... So, beforehand, I was hanging about the harbour, and I was waiting around for harbour events to happen, when really I should have been going back to Dobita, and, like, spending more time in Dobita. So, yesterday, I was actually spending more time in the shop, and look what I got. I got Metal Sonic. When I got that, it was only yesterday that I realised that. I wish I got Metal Sonic in my other playthrough. Like, I should have played the other playthrough more and got Metal Sonic. Like, instead of hanging around at the harbour waiting for the next day like an idiot, I should have gone back to Dobita and just... I mean, I guess at that point I didn't have any money, did I? Sorry, that was probably my reasoning. My reasoning was that I only have enough money for my bus fare home. What can I do at this harbour? Because I can't do anything back at Dobita. I kind of like, yeah, because I didn't have the job. Well, no, I didn't. I had money at the travel agency bit, because the travel agency bit is where you get all your life savings and stuff. But at that point, you're not really going back to the harbour. But then again, yeah, I should have been buying cassettes and winning Metal Sonics. Oh, is he on the move? They're both on the move. Aye, so this makes sense because 3 o'clock, Hard Hat Guy heads off, and so I saw him down in Dobita around about 4 o'clock, going into the sushi bar, and so yeah, this guy goes off to the shrine. As I think I just randomly saw him one time at the shrine when I was gonna go. I think I was checking on the cat, and then I turned around, and then hey ho, there he was, like walking up the steps as I was turning around. So I just want to know, like, who's he praying for? Who has he lost? What has he done? Why does he feel so tired? There he is. That was a lot smoother than the past 2 times I've gone. Yeah. Where was I? So yeah, when I got the job, that was actually... So when I got the job, that was actually when I spent more time in Dobita. Well, when I wanted to spend more time in Dobita, that was when I realised that the harbour was boring. But I actually couldn't go back to Dobita. I was like... So I was working at the harbour, doing my 9 to 5. Yeah, you saw the video of like my lunch break. I enjoy my lunch break. I spoke to like all my co-workers on my lunch breaks. I had like a routine. Spoke to them all, ate lunch, spoke to them all, and then I went to play darts for like an hour, because you get a 2-hour lunch break. Who gets a 2-hour lunch break? Nobody. That's who. But I had an hour to play darts every day, and that was just nice. And then those mad angel bastards would interrupt me during my work. And then at the end of the day, I was like, now I want to go to Dobita because I've been at the harbour all day working my ass off. I want to like go and relax in Dobita and like buy cassettes and stuff, because I have money now. I had money, so I was like, oh, I can spend this money. Excellent. But every time you try to go home, like you try to go back to Dobita early, Rio is always a bit like, oh, I need to find out more about these Mad Cats gang. I don't know why I'm saying Mad Cats. Mad Angels gang. And I was just like, no, I don't give it. Like, I didn't actually give a shit about the Mad Angels gang. I was like, I just want to go in, I want to work. And I'm happy if the story doesn't progress now. Like, I'm just going in, working, and now I want to go home to Dobita and do a bit of shopping, because I've got money. Why not? But no, I couldn't do that. And I guess if I was allowed to do that, then I might have actually got Metal Sonic and Super Sonic. But Ryo and his revenge plot, he just could not let it go two different ladies speaking to each other there. The one in the yellow anorak, we saw her down in Dobita. So yeah, forklift job didn't last as long as I wanted it to. I think you were allowed to go home every day at like 10, because every day at 10 Rio was always like, oh, I need to, you know, it's getting late, I should probably go home. So you had to go home anyway, and I think, you know, whatever cutscene you had come across, you'd come across by then. So for the last hour I would always just run around and explore Dobita at night. And that's when I got to check out a lot of stuff. But just didn't have time to like get my Metal Sonic. Yeah, so I enjoyed that part. If I'm honest, I didn't enjoy the racing. I did get I got like first place, second place, third place, fourth place, and fifth place. So I think I've spent 5 days on the forklifts, because I got all those places and then no more in the race. Like I could have come in first every day. I just made sure I got all those places for the gacha toys. And then, but no, I could have had that last longer, like working and then going to Dobita and spending my money if the game had allowed me, but it didn't really. So yeah, that part was cool. And again, in my head I'm kind of like, so was that disc 2? Was disc 2 like, I don't know, because I know that there's I think there's 3 discs. I don't think there's 4. 3 discs, I think. This is the worrying part. So I think like, was disc 2 coming to the harbour and then finishing your work, and then was disc 3 just like the rest, like the whole 70-man battle and facing off against Chai, and just everything after the fork you get fired basically. I think you get fired. Because it's after you get fired you then meet Tom, and Tom fucks off. And then you kind of go straight, like everything's on rails after that. Everything is basically, oh no wait, no, it's not. Oh no, I think you get fired. You get fired the day after the motorcycle chase. So like, you go rescue Nozomi. That was cool. That was a very good part. And again, I kind of feel like that was.
Do you have a minute?
Sorry, but, if you're trying to pick me up, forget it. Find someone else.
She's like 14. This game has like, some of the women say such weird stuff in this. Where is he? Oh, there he is, thank God. Yeah. So I kind of feel like that motorcycle bit, that was the start of disc 3. That felt like the start of disc 3, like that, because it was the motorbike, and like you'd ridden the motorbike before, I think, but it was all QTs, and so that didn't really feel like. I think I commented on that, but it was in German, so you probably didn't understand. But I commented on like, I rode a motorcycle, and I kind of wish that it wasn't just QTs. I kind of wish that I'd actually got to ride it, and then I actually did get to ride it. So I was like, oh cool, that is actually, and that bit, like, you know, it's 2 minutes of like driving through the city with no traffic, no obstacles, no nothing. I think it's just like you need to get used to turning the bike properly. But that bit was really, really good. It was really good. Like, it reminds me of a bit in Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy 7 even, where you ride a motorbike. But obviously there's more to do in the Final Fantasy 7 bit. But just like that, I don't know, it was comfy, and it was like, if you haven't seen Akira, you should see Akira, because Akira is like one of my favourite films. It's fantastic, an anime, I'm sure you know of it, where the motorcycle flares, like the motorcycle lights at the back. Is he buying flowers now? No. Does he just always do that awkward walk towards the flowers and then doesn't do anything? Yeah, Akira has this lovely art style technique thing where like motorcycle lights fade off, like it's to show motion as the motorcycle goes forwards. The lights sort of like trail behind it, and Shenmue didn't quite do it as nicely, but it did try, and it did. Like, you could right? You could tell that they were trying to do that sort of like light effect, and it was really nice. It was very, very nice and just comfy. And it's the idea as well that I think it's because you know, up to that point, you'd been standing at the bus stop, and you know, you could only stand at the bus stop at the end of the street there. You couldn't go down the street, you couldn't go anywhere in the street. So just standing at the bus stop was like, yep, I get on the bus and I appear at the harbour. But that motorcycle bit was like connecting this area to the harbour, and that was just a big deal. I don't know what it was. That was a really big deal. That it may have just been copy pasted buildings. It wasn't really. I did take note that it was actually not as copy pasted as shoddier game makers would have done it. It was actually very, you know, there were some tomato shops thrown in there. Really well done, I thought. Just the look of it all, and you know, it all felt like one big unique track in like a racing game, I guess. Is he going to the bus? He better not be going to the bus. If he goes to the bus, that's him off, isn't it? But he'll come back. I'm just thinking, I saw him at half, like on the last video that I made where I followed him to the bar, I found him at 7:30 walking along this street, so he must come back up here at 7:30. I can't follow him. Pardon me. Actually, what does he do? Oh, this is actually devastating. All I can do now is wait for him to come back. Huh. Like, I know from the last time I saw him, I met him on the street at 7:30, so that's in what, 2 hours from now. And he goes to the jazz bar for about 8 o'clock, so worst comes to worst, we'll pick him back up at 8 o'clock at the jazz bar. All we can do is wait. Stressful, stressful, stressful. Oh, there's the girl. So that girl there, she stands at the harbour all day, like drawing something. And I actually thought she looked a bit like the girl from Your Dreams, who wears the hat and stuff. And yeah, obviously, like the girl in Your Dreams has no big role in this game. I'm assuming she has more of a role in 2. Maybe not. Maybe she only ever has a speaking role in 3. But she appears to be on the front cover of all the games, so she must be important, right? Where was I? Motorcycle bit. Really cool. Like, basically connecting this road to the harbour. And it was cool. Like, I liked that. I just liked it. And controls were cool. Like, I think, I don't know who the guy who made this is, but I'm guessing he threw it in because he made Hang On and he wanted to like have a sort of 3D representation of Hang On. And yeah, it was cool. Really enjoyed that part of the game. Then you go rescue Nozomi. Oh, in fact, no, I have to also speak about the part like just before then, where you wake up at 12, and you've got like 4 hours to get to the harbour. That bit, like, I wish I'd recorded that. I don't know, something fucked up with my recording thing, and I only recorded 3 seconds, so like I didn't record the whole thing. But that was just great. Like that was, I think, because it was the novelty of being up at 12 at midnight, and I was like, oh, what's still open at this time? So I was going about like Doita, going like, oh, this bar's still open, this bar's still open. The arcade was shut. The arcade closes at 2400, I believe. I was just running about and like speaking to people, and I think I went to the karaoke bar, which is a place where she never usually says anything, apart from like, excuse me, I've got customers, could you please move on? But she never has any customers, so I don't know what she's talking about. But this time she actually said something like, oh, you need to go to the harbour, but there aren't any buses at this time of night. And I was just like, oh shit, like I'd actually wasted my whole time just being like, the novel, like I was just like, I can get a bus at like 2:45 and then that'll be fine. And the whole 3 hours I can waste just fanning about, seeing who's open and who's going about. I was trying to find him as well, actually. I went to the park to see if he was still sitting on his bench. Spoilers for the end of this video. but he wasn't there. So I don't know what he does between 12 and 3. Couldn't find him. But yeah. But then yeah, so I had like an hour to find a way to the harbour. So I basically ran to Nomura's, who I knew drove the taxi. His taxi was gone, because he obviously works the night shift. So, taxi was gone, he wasn't there. I think I tried knocking on his door, he wasn't having any of it. That plan was out. I then ran back down to Dobita. This had like half an hour left at this point. And I think I just saw I thought motorcycle shop. Like, there were no motorcycles here, as there are not now. No motorcycles here, so I thought, right, I'll run to the motorcycle shop, see if he's got a motorbike, because that's the only other form of transport I could think of at that time. And I think I knocked on the door, and I can't remember his name, Ono-san? He was in, like, I knocked on his door and he was in, and he gave me, no, all his motorbikes were broken. But yeah, he says something like, yeah, I've just fixed your friend's motorbike, so go find him, go in for him, and see if you can borrow his. So I did that, and obviously, this was like 5 minutes to 3. 5 minutes to 3, approaching that point where I was about to fail, and I was literally, I was like, I must have been like a few paces away from the end, from the point where the cutscene happens, where your friend like runs out and gives you the motorbike. But I think I went into the wrong door, knocked on the wrong door, and then it was the wrong door, and then 3 o'clock hit, and then like I failed it, and then when I got to restart the checkpoint, what happened? Nah, there's no point. I like her, by the way. She's my actual waifu. Like,
Yuriko-san,
Oh,
Cool.
Rio.
can I ask you something?
Sorry, I have something to do now. Next time, okay?
Sure, no problem. See you later.
she's my actual waifu. The other flower shop girl. Oh, right, okay. So 7 o'clock. I'm assuming now he's going to come back. Correct? Yeah. Anyway, so they made me restart from... Oh, there he is. Excellent. So they made me restart from 12 midnight again, from my bed. I wonder what he was doing for those 2 hours. Was he sleeping? I wonder if he was sleeping. We'll never know. So... yeah, they made me restart at 12 from my bed. And I basically had like all the notes in my notepad still. So like I didn't have to go through the process of talking to the guy at the motorcycle shop, etc, etc, etc. I just had to go to my friend's house and grab his motorbike, so that was good, I guess. I could have spent that time searching for him, seeing where he was, but nah, I thought I'd get on with it. And then yeah, motorbike bit happened, motorbike bit was really cool. And then I have to say everything after that was a bit like, you know, it's kind of constant fighting after that. I think you fight your way to Nozomi. Fighting can either be incredibly easy or annoyingly hard. Like, I don't think the combat system in this game works, really. I mean it does, but it's not. You'll see in my Chai video that I did actually, like my 3rd fight with Chai was actually pretty, I'm jumping ahead here, was actually quite good and quite technical. But like, again, you see the fight with the leather chaps guy, and that was just cheesed it, like ran away to recover health and stuff. But no, yeah, so what happens after so you fight the guys, you meet Terry. He then gives you that ultimatum of like attacking Goi-chan, and Rio does it, and I was actually just like, is Rio autistic enough to actually just say yes and then go do it, or is he actually not as autistic as I thought, and is able to lie and say something that he's not actually meaning to fulfill? So yeah, he did actually lie and wanted Goijan to pretend to lose the fight, but then Goijan was too proud. And I think that, yeah, this is basically, I think you did have a day there, but I think this was basically, this is now in endgame. You were basically, you went to bed after saving Zomi. I think you then went into work, but then that's when the guy fires you, and you then go see Tom, and Tom flies away on a jet plane, and then it gets you straight into the Goijen fight. And then you go after that 70-man battle. I think I had to try that twice. It wasn't that bad. Like, I got all the way to the leather traps guy and died because I didn't realize that my health regenerated the first time. So I was just like running ahead of Joey-Chen, what's his name, Gui Zhang, and just like battering guys, because obviously all the guys up until him are just like 1-hit kill, you know, 3-hit kills or something. So it was relatively easy up until the leather chaps, and then the leather chaps beasted me because I only had like 3 points of health left, and he beasted me. But then the second time I did it, I realized that my health regenerated, so like I took my time a wee bit more. I stayed back, let Gui Zhang fight a few guys so that I could recharge my health. Went a lot easier, a lot smoother. Appeared to leather chaps guy, and then realized that he was still beating my ass. So used the cheesing running away tactic of regenerating my health, because he does that like drop kick move where that gives me enough time to recover, and then I'm able to run again. So yeah, fighting I didn't really have that great an experience with. And then but after the 70-man battle, you then basically go straight into the last day. I think that was essentially just watching a few cutscenes and then fighting Chai. And as you see in my video, like Chai was, I think it was a good fight, technical fight. I like the one-on-one fights. Like, I do like them. I do not like fighting groups. I think that's my problem with the game. I don't like fighting groups. I think fighting groups is just a bit boring. Yakuza does it a lot better, obviously. Yakuza does fighting one-on-one better probably as well, but like, he goes in here, doesn't he? And now we just have to wait however many hours for him to finish his drink. Could have a few more surprises on the table, you know? This might not be his last stop. It might not be his last stop before the bench. But no, the Chai fight, again, as you can see in my video, the third fight, the first... What? I didn't press anything. Okay.
Excuse me?
Terribly sorry, but I just can't now. If you want to talk, ask someone else.
This is where you meet the sailors. Hey, they're there. I remember someone giving me a clue saying that the sailors only appear here like after 9. Yeah. Anyway, watching him. I want to get to a good spot. I wish Ryu would like sit down. That would be a lot nicer. Just sit and wait. Be a bit more covert. Yeah, so as you can see, my third attempt at the Chai fight, I actually did quite well. First 2 attempts, I was trying to use the new move that Master Chen had just taught me. Wasn't working. Although, I mean, it did work. I think you can see in the video that it did work a few times, but I just couldn't pull it off when I wanted it to. So I then just decided, okay, I'm going to fight him properly. Beat him. Final cutscene. Travelling off into the distance on a boat. Into the sunset even. Like a cowboy. Good ending. Makes me want to play more, I guess. And like, I do want to continue Shenmue story. It is it's more-ish. I think overall, as I said at the beginning, it really escalated. It started off nice and slow, and the stakes got higher and higher. And I think by the end it did get a wee bit, maybe a wee bit silly. Not silly. Like the 70-man battle, I think was too much. Like, it didn't need that. You know, from where it started, it didn't need the 70-man battle. I think that was just like, it makes me wonder, because the stakes got, you know, like, do I have to fight 100 people in Shenmue 2? Like, do the stakes have to then be raised even more when I start Shenmue 2? Does it immediately jump off of this one, and the stakes are already really high and it has to go higher? Or do I start off nice and slow paced again? Do I get to learn the ins and outs of Hong Kong? I don't know. I'm looking forward. I'm expecting. I don't know what I'm expecting, but I'm looking forward to finding out. Is all I mean. Yeah. I hope it doesn't, you know, constantly raise the stakes. I hope there is a similar, like, good chunk of the game that has no fighting, and then it eases you into it. But I've absolutely no idea. I'm assuming you end up meeting Li Dan face to face again, or maybe you don't. I mean, there is a third. There is a third. I'm assuming the second game will go into like the seedy undergrounds of Hong Kong, which actually in this game I'm surprised it never actually took. I mean, there was the Mad Angels gang, but it never really took the turn of going into the seedy underground, because obviously there's the Yakuza den, which is not really utilized in the story. I didn't. If there was any story portion of the game to do with the Yakuza, I never really stumbled across it. It was all, you know, I went there a few times, spoke to the guys, they seemed like nice guys, but no idea really what they did. I'm assuming they were Yakuza, maybe not. And then what happened? And then yeah, there's the mahjong, like just around the corner from here. There's like a mahjong parlor, which again never really got utilized. A lot of places, I mean, they don't need to be utilized, they're just there to build the environment. Yeah, I guess because I liked the start of the game, because I liked that slow talking to everybody, I would actually say, especially upon playing this game, starting new and doing the thing yesterday, I was really surprised at how quickly you actually get into Dobita. Like, all you have to do is talk to the guy with the bad back, and then you're here. I would actually say I would rather it were slower. Like, if you spent a bit more time just in, what's it called, in Sakura Gaoka. If you spent more time there, that would have been nice. I mean, obviously you can spend as much time as you want in there, and go back there whenever you want. But nah, there were like more story stuff to do there before going into Dobita. That would have been nice. And then yeah, if there were just more story threads, I guess, more mysteries to figure out. I've just realised I completely jumped over finding the Phoenix Mirror. That was cool. That was really cool. When did that happen? Finding the Phoenix Mirror, that was like, you get the letter, you get it translated, and it says, is that the one that says that the, because like I did the first half of that puzzle really early in the game. I found the key in my dad's drawer, opened the box with the sword in it, and then stuck the sword in the wall. And like, the sword was in the wall for a good chunk of my playthrough. And then it was only when I got sent to the antique shop. No. Was it antique shop? I think it was the antique shop. And he gave me the handle for the sword. Was that in the letter? Was it the letter that told me to go there? Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, that part, when I put that in the wall and the wall opened up, when you were in there, that was a really good bit. Like, finding the Phoenix Mirror was cool. Like, that was, I think, as I said, that was like, it was like an Uncharted puzzle, but without the without the spectacle. Like, it didn't need, like, you know, you remember some of the Uncharted levels, and they were just like massive globes. You needed, I don't know, massive set pieces, It felt like an Uncharted puzzle without the massive set piece, and it didn't need the massive set piece. It was a dank basement. He is drunk now. He cannot open the door. Yeah, it didn't need the massive set piece. It was a cool little puzzle in that little room, and you just had to find it out. And you know, all the stuff was there, and there was even more stuff to, you know, red herrings and all that. It was cool, very cool. I think that wedged in just before you went to the harbour, didn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, we're on the last piece of his puzzle. I'm quite disappointed that we didn't get to find out any revealing secrets of his. Huh. Like, I know where he goes now. I kind of assumed I had his whole day pieced together. I mean, if I'm honest, following him today, the only thing that surprised me was him going to the Chinese restaurant. Like, I knew he went to the shrine. Well, I suppose going to the Chinese restaurant and going off away to the bus and doing something mysterious. So I guess there's still a bit of mystery to him. Still a bit of mystery to him. I think there's always going to be a mystery to him. Like,
Excuse me?
Oh, no, no, no. I've been too tired lately. Catch me next time.
The strange thing about him though is that he's so well dressed, and he stands around most of the days.
Look at the time.
He stands around most of the day speaking with the hard hat man. So I kind of always assumed he was like the hard hat guy's boss. And yeah, it just makes me wonder, like, why is such a well-dressed man like getting drunk and going to a shrine? CCS. It's almost 11. Like, I thought he made it to the park by 11. I'm gonna run I really want to run ahead. I do get the feeling sometimes that when you actually sit and watch the people, they're a lot slower than, like, their actual set times. Like, if I waited at the park, he would appear at 11, for example. But because I've followed him the whole day, his timing's a bit out. I don't think he's going to make it to the park by 11, and I don't think I'm even going to get him on the bench. But I know that is his end goal. I have sat up late at night with him on his bench, and I have watched him fall asleep, head in hands, after being so tired the entire day. There's half an hour left of this day. There's no way he's going to make it. So let's recap. He starts off 9 o'clock in the morning. He's speaking with the hard hat man by the construction site. He could have been somewhere else at 8:30, but I doubt it. Like, I was actually considering. I thought that he wasn't going to be there that early. I thought that it was going to be empty, and I was going to have to, like, figure out where he entered from, and then therefore figured out, like, where his house was. But no, he was there, 9 o'clock sharp. And he then heads off. Was it about 12 o'clock to go for some Chinese? Heads back up the road, back to the construction site. About 3 o'clock, he heads off to his shrine, does a bit of praying. Praying for what? Nobody knows. Only him. After praying, what does he do? He doesn't go back to the construction site. Does he?